Even as the entire nation was immersed in the Pran Pratishtha ceremony and the unveiling of Lord Rama, Tamil Nadu was on a completely different tangent. There was talk about how the Tamil Nadu government had allegedly attempted to block the live telecast of the Ram temple event in Ayodhya, apparently through an oral order. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman reacted to the so-called ban and said how ruling party was showing, within quotes, personal hatred for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She said, and I quote her here, "The Tamil Nadu police are being misused by the government of Tamil Nadu. They are being misused by Hindu-hating DMK. Can any citizen be denied to watch the Prime Minister? The DMK is showing its personal hatred for the Prime Minister." And now, let's listen into what Nirmala Sitharaman had to say.
Mamata is one of the forms, manifestations of Ayodhya. It is in this temple that you'll find a plaque which has beautiful carvings, which shows the Putra Kameshti Yaga, which Dasharatha, the king, performed, and therefore Ram was born. It is in this temple that you'll find that. And in this temple, when people are coming to worship, offer food as prasadam, and also watch the Honorable Prime Minister. We have, unfortunately, the Tamil Nadu police being misused by the government of Tamil Nadu. Police being misused. Police are normally performing their duty. They are being misused by Hindu-hating DMK. And that's what is happening now. Let's see what happens. Can any citizen be denied watching the Honorable Prime Minister? The DMK is clearly showing its personal hatred for Prime Minister.
Sitharaman also added, in the Thovalai Murugan temple located in Nagarkoil, permission is being denied to put up LED screens for live telecast. Order by police has been seen. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi on Monday also claimed that the staff of Sri Rama temple in Chennai, which is under the state government's control, faced repression. He said, and I am quoting Governor R.N. Ravi here, "This morning, I visited Sri Kodandaramaswamy temple in West Mambalam, Chennai, and offered prayers to Prabhu Sri Rama for the well-being of all. This temple is under the HRNCE department, that is the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Department of the state government. There was an all-pervasive sense of invisible fear and apprehensions writ large on the faces of priests and temple staff, a stark contrast to the festive environment in the rest of the country. While the entire country is celebrating the Pran Pratishtha of Ram Lalla, the temple premises here exude a sense of acute repression." Even as Stalin did this, on the other hand, let me tell you how things unfolded on a day when Ram Lalla's Pran Pratishtha took over. Rahul Gandhi was stopped today from visiting the birthplace of Saint Srimant Shankaradeva. The incident took place after Assam Chief Minister Hemant Biswa Sarma advised him to visit the temple after the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Ayodhya. Rahul later staged a dharna outside the temple. You can see those visuals on your screen right now.
ठीक है बनाए रख जनता लोग बैठ क्यों नहीं जा रहे हैं क्यों खड़े हो भाई बिना मतलब का बैठ जाओ अरे बैठ जाओ दादा बैठ जाओ दादा बैठ जाओ बैठ जाओ चला रहे हैं नहीं चला रहे बाइक नहीं है 10 पीछे जाना
You know what's funny? That they can all get up and protest again Narendra Modi getting involved in the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, but they are all doing their little numbers when it comes to gods. What happened in Kolkata today? Well, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee began the All-Faith Harmony rally aligning with the Ram Temple Pran Pratishtha ceremony. Mamata began the rally after offering puja and prayers at the iconic Kalighat temple in the city. You know, now one may take all this, what Stalin does, or what Rahul does, or what Mamata did. Mamata on your screens right now. Look at her. It's an all-faith rally that she is leading. Now, Stalin, Rahul, Mamata, all of them, they may have their own personal or political opinions, but then when it comes to Muka Stalin, a bench of justices Sanjeev Khanna and Deepankar Dotto, while hearing a plea seeking quashing of an oral order dated 20th January banning live telecast of the consecration ceremony at Ayodhya in temples across Tamil Nadu, said no one is bound to abide with the oral orders. One must add that Shekhar Babu, Minister of HRNCE, denied that any such order was imposed, but then it is very difficult to verify what really happened. I want to ask the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, if this banning order be true, what or who gives them the authority to ban such a telecast? You know what, ladies and gentlemen, it's not so much about religion, but actually about this so-called oral order from the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam government to ban the live telecast. It is clearly clamping down on the freedom of choice the people of this country.
Oh, absolutely. There is no question about it at all, and that's why the Supreme Court and prior to that the High Court, both of them prohibited the order itself. And you know, the verbal order was sent through WhatsApp, which BJP leaders shared on Twitter. But I think it is definitely clamping down on freedom. And it's totally unacceptable. And I don't think like they would do to any other religion. And Nirmala Sitharaman was right to say that it was anti-Hindu DMK. And they have been placing all these comments. The leaders have been like going down, like speaking ill of Sanatana Dharma. Today they have put it to action. So there is no surprises.
You know, Bhanuchander, you were on my debate when we spoke about how Udayanidhi Stalin, after making the biggest kind of faux pas about Sanatana Dharma, also spoke about how they are not against the Rama temple, but because it's built on a mosque which was demolished. My whole point is that, you know, fine, that is again your political opinion, but to go around clamping on the freedom of people, although his grandfather spoke about who's Rama, what is this Rama Setu, but I think there was a big difference, sea of difference between Kalaignar Karunanidhi and the way Udayanidhi Stalin is deliberately and without any kind of knowledge trying to attack people who are devotees.
Oh, absolutely. Like, no, they have a history going back. I don't want to even go to like all the nasty things that Periyar said. Like, Kalaignar said that whether Rama was a civil engineer to have built Ram Setu. So they have been making disparaging remarks throughout, and Udayanidhi Stalin comes from the same lineage. So there is nothing surprising about it. See, the thing is like it also smacks of fear, right? Like the if you are on one time they say that BJP or Hinduism or even the Ram temple will not have any effect on Tamil Nadu. At the on the other hand, they go ahead and issue this cowardly verbal order, asking temples and even privately owned temples not to screen the Pran Pratishtha. So I think they're really scared this time, given the overflow of emotions and what even people of Tamil Nadu are expressing through various social media and other outlets. So I think it smacks of fear.
Of fear, it smacks of nervousness. You know, Bhanuchander, Nagarajan, there was a lot of brouhaha about Jallikattu. Lot of people said that it should be banned, it should be stopped. Of course, they gave, I mean, I don't want to go into the reasons that they, gave. But today, the DMK wears Jallikattu on its sleeve. You see in Madurai, everywhere, there are banners, there are posters, there is eulogizing them. So, this is hypocrisy, that when it comes to Jallikattu, they will wear it on their chest. When it comes to the freedom of others to worship the god that they like, and particularly on a day like this, when there is a Pran Pratishtha, then these people clamp down on you. Do you think the DMK is on its last leg, considering that this is the worst kind of repression they can ever resort to?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like they are a declining ideology, and even the organization that actually pushes this ideology is corrupt. And there are a lot of cases, and I think the organization is in a decline as well. So this is not the first time they've attacked culture. You mentioned about Jallikattu, right? A few years ago, there were members of the DMK and allied organizations that spoke ill of Lord Muruga, if you remember. And I think the biggest they had to claw back because the biggest opposition came from Edom, from Jaffna, where the Sri Lankan Tamils very unequivocally said that they won't brook any attacks on Lord Muruga. So I think they keep doing this and they keep getting knocked off. So I think it betrays nervousness. I think people have woken up. People are connecting back to the culture, and India is also put together. It's like going through a civilizational resurgence coupled with an economic resurgence. So I think people are connecting back to the culture and really irks them. This party actually it professes atheism, and it actually sort of is against culture. So I think when people are claiming back the culture, it sort of threatens them.
The thing is that they hold this Tamil diaspora meetings, conclaves. Of course, that became a bit of an embarrassment. But then in Singapore, in Mauritius, in several other parts, where they all have temples. Also, when it comes to Tamil Nadu, people do go to temples. Tell me, Bhanuchander, as somebody who is a political analyst, do you think this is going to hurt them bad? Because see, both the Dravidian parties are equally guilty when it comes to this. I am not saying that they need to be believers in God, but I remember AIDMK during Vetrivel Yatra, and they were like, they went hammer and tongs, Edappadi Palani Swami. Now, both Dravidian parties are like this, but when we speak about the DMK, do you think it's going to impact them majorly when it comes to electoral results, Bhanuchander, Nagarajan?
Yeah, absolutely. See, not just you mentioned Mauritius, right? There are many other countries where Tamils are among the largest section of the Indian diaspora. Say Singapore, say Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and there's a small island called Reunion Island near Mauritius, which is populated mostly by Tamils, and they have a very poignant bhakti tradition of with Lord Muruga and Lord Shiva. So I think Tamilians outside Tamil Nadu also, who are unaffected by the Dravidian propaganda, have been very vocal about their actual cultural roots. And if you look at like the history of Tamil Nadu, like you don't read about the Alvars and Nayanmars as much as you should do, even in the textbook. For them, that part of the history is sort of negated. So I think this is a continuous attack on it. Obviously, this is going to have effect on the votes that they get. And it is going to affect them electorally. You will see that definitely this time, because there have been social media is so prevalent right now, right? So most of the debates happen there. I think people are really awakened, and they know what is happening right now. I'm sure, they are going to feel it. And in fact, that's why, like, they do all sorts of these things. Had they actually given out a formal order instead of the verbal order, I think the Supreme Court would have gone hammer and tongs and probably even recommended the dismissal of the head of police, and that's why they surreptitiously gave a verbal order. So I think this betrays nervousness. And I mean, if the biggest ruling party, like with the strongest ever majority, is showing this, it means that they are very nervous about it.
Stalin had spoken about an oral ban about telecasting live the Pran Pratishtha ceremony by Narendra Modi from Ayodhya. In the south, Vijayan spoke about it. There is complete silence from Jagan, there is complete silence from Revant Reddy, and also Muka Stalin, like I said, apparently had ordered that there is live telecast should not happen. But there is one man who's fought against it, who said, I am an atheist, but he went to a temple in Bengaluru today. His name is Siddharamaiah, Chief Minister of Karnataka. So there he is with the balancing act. He of course said that I believe in Rama. My name has Ram in it, Siddharamaiah. I may not go to Ayodhya, but I will go pay my respects in a temple in Bengaluru. Here is a man who 2 weeks ago refused to enter the Garbhagriha of a temple. But because the entire nation stood today with Lord Rama, this is the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddharamaiah, who went to the temple to be one amongst the people. Let me now get Bhanuchander, of course, on the screen. But before that, take a look at Siddharamaiah. Bhanuchander Nagarajan, political analyst, is still with us. Let me go to him. Bhanuchander, when I saw the Pran Pratishtha today, I just found that it represents India and particularly our part of the world, that is South India. Considering that the architect, the sculptor is none other than Arun Yogiraj. Speak a little about what it evoked in you as somebody who's also from south of India.
I think it was a great unifying moment. I think Bhagwan Sri Ram, when he was during his lifetime, his life carried him through all over India, and ultimately, came till Rameshwaram and then went further south into Sri Lanka. So there was a great unifying path through his life. And I think I somehow feel that the Nirgun form of Ram, the spirit of Ram, or the Ram Ek Soch Hai concept, is sort of uniting India again. I mean, people from, you said the contribution of the sculpture was from South Indian. And we had so many musicians and artists that actually attended the ceremony today. Prime Minister was here, he visited a couple of times, not just couple, more than he was in Srirangam, Rameshwaram, Dhanushkodi, so many other places. So I think there's a great amount of involvement of South Indian artists and South Indian people in the whole scheme of things. So I think this is something that we need to be proud of, and common people in India also. Notice that I was actually traveling in rural South India the last couple of days, and I could see that there was a great amount of interest and great amount. They had planned many things. It seems there were posters that I saw, and they were preparing for the event. So I think among the common people, it has sort of really gelled, and it is sort of timeless. So I think it's quite natural that they were expecting Pran Pratishtha. So. I mean, it's a great unifying moment, not just for some parts of India, but not just for even India, but for the whole. And in fact, some Hindus will say that even the cosmos were sort of expecting a grand event.